welcome to the happenings, where we're going to talk about things that happen, whether you like them
Or not.
It's just not whether you like them, it's whether we like them. But anyway, I was being giving. So today, we're going to be doing cooking time with Whitley and Jessica. And we're going to see if all pizzas are created equal. She's going to scare us with her carnivore habits, and I'm going to delight us with our omnivore moments. So anyway, that is just off the cuff. So yeah, we're going to be cooking with you. You're going to be cooking with us.
Yes.
And hopefully you find something inspiring about each one. We look forward to talking with you soon.
Hi, I'm Whitley, and I am here today to show you my version of a carnivore pizza.
Very good.
I watched many different ways to make a carnivore pizza. In fact, a lot of them involved using carnivore bread for the crust, but this is my family's favorite. It's very similar to a lot of other recipes you're going to find out there, but it's kind of my twist.
Let me see.
So we have 1 pound of ground chicken.
Ground, not ground round, but ground chicken. Ground cluck.
As lean as you want it. Normally with carnivore, you want everything very, very fatty. But because this is going to be a crust,
Yes.
it needs to be lean, and chicken has the mildest flavor of the ground meat.
Got you. What are we putting in now?
Take an egg.
Just one healthy egg.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything unique about this egg?
It's pasture raised or cage free or
I knew it.
Things.
This
like
isn't
that.
the regular homogenized egg you find in the store. It was free cluck. Got it.
I always look at the yolk. The
Okay.
more golden the yolk,
The better the egg.
so I pick brands. I may try a new brand, and I crack open the yolk and I see how dark it is.
Yes.
There's a lot of organic brands. I cracked them open and the yolk was yellow and not orange. So those are not used again. But
What else do we got?
what else do we have? Well, I have washed my hands. Jessica is my witness.
Yes, I did.
We don't have any gloves today, so we're doing this. And what I have discovered is if I put in my meat first, put in my egg on top, and start smashing.
You're just going all in.
Smash my egg into my meat.
And you got a really great manicure for today's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit longer than
Right.
I normally like.
I hear your nails like clicking along. The
Oh,
back
yes,
surface.
yes, exactly. But
So
this
you're
is
just
just
kind of
the
folding in?
fastest way.
Okay.
It's just, I have discovered this is not, the other recipes I've seen have done it a little bit different, but this is the way I found it blends the
Right,
best.
you want me to pour this in?
That would be fantastic.
Okay, tell us what I'm looking at. You don't have to
We're
touch it.
looking at 1 cup of ground up pork rinds. And I do it myself because I live where there's an HEB.
Yes.
I feel sorry for you. But we have just fantastic pork rinds.
When you say you crush them yourself, are you putting them in a bag and just?
Well, I will tell you what. I asked one of my children to crush them one time, and they took the bag and a rolling pin and
Yes.
literally crushed.
That's typical. Like you do that with graham crackers.
But I throw mine in the Vitamix and just crush them up.
Yes. Do you
Ground
like?
up pork rinds, which I think is called panko, is it's terribly expensive. But what I've discovered is 1 bag, which is only about $1.50 at our HEB,
Yes.
makes 2 cups.
I love it.
So
All right.
and it's not difficult, especially with the Vitamix.
All right. So it looks like we're ready to put it onto the
Once
tray.
you've got this really well mixed, and quite honestly, it needs to be hand mixed.
Well, tell me about the tray and how you prepped it.
Okay, this is any tray. Normally, I will use a round one, but we're using a square one today. And this is parchment paper. This is very important. Remember, this is meat and not your pizza crust. So we have parchment paper, and I have greased it with butter.
Oh,
Or
good.
tallow.
Okay.
Butter or tallow will keep this carnivore.
What do you mean keep this? Oh, you mean keep you a carnivore or keep the recipe a carnivore?
The recipe. Carnivore.
Got it. Okay.
Carnivore is using animal products. So the egg is carnivore, the ground chicken is carnivore.
How thin are you going to make this crust?
I am going to make it as thin as I want to.
So you got a separate parchment paper.
I have a separate parchment paper because you can, using the parchment paper, you can get it thinner.
Now, would you not use like a mini rolling pin or something?
You could use a mini rolling pin, but
I didn't know if you liked using those, or
it's just
you like getting your hands dirty.
it really doesn't take all that very long, so I just use my hand.
Okay.
And also because I'm usually shaping it into a big circle.
Right.
In this, I think it would be it's fine. But when I'm doing the circle, it's like having,
You're just smushing it out.
Yeah, it needs a little bit more fine tuning. Whereas this one, it's just like just smashed out.
Perfect.
Because it's a rectangle, and some of it is coming out on the side. You can see.
Yes. So it'll be like a little Caesars.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're just putting it back there on the side. Okay.
Yeah. And this is a lot easier, quite honestly, than bread dough because it's just crummy and
egg and pancake crumbs. Okay, cool. All right.
And you don't have to be really great. You just smash it. And like I said, as thin as you want it. Some people like it thicker.
Okay.
But here we go. And
nice.
Bitty hole,
so
to speak. That's what happens a lot of times. And you just smash the meat into that hole. Absolutely. That is it. Yes.
Okay.
And now that I have my hands washed, we're going to put this in a preheated 75 oven. And we're going to let it cook for 30 minutes.
Yes, I'll set the timer.
Jessica set the timer. It's her oven.
Right. So we'll be ready to take a look at this delectable meat crust that you love so much.
Yes.
Perfect. We'll see you soon. We're going to change it on the flip side. Yes. And we're going to see my version of a pizza pot pie. So, yes. Hold, please. Welcome to Cooking with Jessica. Actually, no, today we're doing a pizza competition. So Whitley has her carnivore side and I have my omnivore side. And so I know that many of you might have heard of this one before, but I was looking for a pizza pot pie because I think that sounds delicious. So one of the things we're going to need is a muffin tin, as you see here before you. I have two different sizes because I'm a Texan. We go big or we stay home. So we're going to try it two ways. And I have no idea if it's going to work, so we're going to see. Before we get ready, we got to prepare the muffin tins. Now, they do say to spray it with olive oil. I am a lazy cook, and although that is a great idea, and I have olive oil before you, I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'm going for the all aerosol spray, and it is a kind that you will find in the store. I'm going to just go ahead and spray it away. There we go. And this is going to ensure that your crust does not stick. Now, the next thing we're going to do is put our biscuits in. What is this? I have the butter tasting biscuits. So for the carnivore side of Whitley, this really should come in. Now, what you're supposed to do is just kind of put it all in there like that. Fun for us all. So I'm just going to do a couple on this side, and then I'm going to do some big ones. I think I need like 2 for the next because, I mean, those are some big moments right there. I'm kind of interested to see what it's going to taste like. I haven't actually done a homemade pizza in a while. I believe in recipes. But pizza, it's one of those things I crave, and then I'm good not having it for a while. I don't know about y'all. But we have it going on. Yeah, if you want to just see it. Now, I'm going to try to do one deep dish because I only have one bucket of things here today. So I'm going to do 2 in this little big muffin tin. Even though I sprayed all, I just think we should. John's going to be home later, and he may want to have an incredible pizza puck for his life. What do you think? Oh, and the hands were washed before I began because I'm a hand washer. That's what I do. I'm going to do 2 deep dish and 3 normal ones. Now, typically in a thing of biscuits, you're going to get, what do we have? 8, I think. So yeah, 8 biscuits will come in. So you can actually do almost a whole pan if you do small ones, or you can do, 4 deep dish ones. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just going to kind of spread it out in there. I do not have the lovely manicure that my colleague has, because we live very different lives. And I love that she has her nails done. I wish I could. I work too much with my hands. In the kind of profession I do, they're just going to get chipped. So haven't found a way. Okay, so now that we have our biscuits done, we're going to pause for a second and let me rewash my hands. I hate being greasy. And we're back. Had to wash my hands. I now feel better. And I'm using the Lemon Country Orchard soap from Bath & Body. And can I just tell you, yes, that is a happiness wash right there. And I could do it all day because I'm rewarded with incredible scent. Okay, so back to me. We're going to be putting a little bit of pizza sauce in each one. Now, I want to give a shout out to Walmart, because this was where I decided to go get all my ingredients today. And they have, in their pizza section, they have pizza crust. They had everything laid out. I was so surprised. They had the olives, they had the mushrooms, they had the pepperonis, they had the sauce. You want for nothing. So yeah, I don't know about you, but when I go to the store, I really don't want to walk around the entire store to find things, and I liked that they had it all together. All right, so back to this. We're going to put a tablespoon of sauce in each one, which I think is a good amount. I like it. I don't mind it. And for our big boys over here, I believe we're going to do a hefty 2, because I think it needs it. Now, this is going to seem like an overflowing situation. I am new to this recipe. I have not made it before. So we're going to see. It's kind of one of those go with gods. Now, they do recommend putting a generous amount of mozzarella. Now, as you know, mozzarella is the Lord's cheese. So we're just going to sprinkle some in right there. I mean, this is going to be, I'm a little nervous to see how this is going. I may have to have something to kind of push it down, because these biscuits, they want to give back. They can't give back, man. They can't. But I'm a big cheese fan. One of my favorite pizzas is cheese pizza. I like the chicken mushroom. I like the spinach. So I'm all about it. Okay, so let's go to an exciting moment. A little segue. Oh, wait, I have another biscuit. I'll get it later. This one suggests you chop up a bell pepper. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of bell peppers, so to say, but on this one, I thought I would give it a try. So I have a 4th bell pepper, as you will see right here, chopped. And I have a handy dandy, you can find it in a lot of grocery stores. It's an onion chopper, and I love it. If you're having a hard day, let me tell you, right here is where you let that hard day happen. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm just going to smack it shut. Can we talk about that? Yeah, smacking it shut. Let's try it again. As you can see, it went right down to the bottom. I'm going to just put another one in, because you have no idea the day I had. There we go. I just need a little bit more workout, a little core workout. Last one, and let me just tell you what's really great about this thing is it chops it evenly. Even though it's going to be maybe a little bit longer, on some things they're all the same size, which I like, and I can smack it shut. All right, so with my vegetable choice, and I apologize for my incredible enthusiastic feelings about smacking my bell peppers, I'm just going to put a little bit in my, because I'm not the hugest fan, so I'm just going to, that could be for John. Do you ever feel like, what is it? Is it the Countess? She cooks for Jeffrey. Do you know who I'm talking about? She's so great. She has her own cooking show. If you know who it is in the chat, make sure to put it in there, because the Barefoot Contessa is who it is. That's who I'm thinking of. When I talk about John, I'm thinking about Barefoot Contessa cooking for Jeffrey. The cool thing about adding bell peppers, although you will not, I'm not your healthful go-to on this, is you will get some vitamins in there. So, I mean, if you can be healthy at all, maybe we should, as long as I don't have to taste it. Now, I will say, I am a mushroom fan, and I understand that there are people that are not, they're adverse to mushrooms, but this is going to be somewhat mushroom forward, and I'm just going to press some in there because I believe. Do you believe?
I believe.
I believe, yep. Okay. I don't know. I think they're going to be great. All right. And they're kind of fun looking. I'm telling you, I'm worried about the final topping. Like, will these overflow or not? Just so you know, oops, there was a goner. You will need to set your oven to 375, just like my colleagues. And this is going to cook for 18 to 20 minutes. So really, I think you're just kind of heating up the middles and cooking the biscuit type crust. So this will be fun. You know what I need is some like mini sausages would be fun in here. Okay, maybe one more because it is a big boy and I don't want to feel like I cheated him. Okay, so before we end, I did find, and I love these. This did not come next to the pizza section, but I have a thing for tiny, tiny things. I love cute things. And they have these pepperoni minis. Seriously, how cute. So I'm going to add them to this, and we're going to see if it elevates it or not. Now, again, I'm not necessarily a pepperoni fan. I like pepperoni pizza, but I typically take it off and eat it. I like the remembrance of the pepperoni on the pizza. So I feel like I'm doing mounds at this point. Just mounding them up. But we could say they're smiles. And if this were a Meghan Markle show, I mean, we'd all be impressed at the skill level that it took to make a rainbow out of my pepperonis right here.
Maybe you should make a smiley face.
I should. You know what? For Meghan Markle, I will.
Yes.
Here we go, Meghan. Right here. Making a smile for you. All I need is, a set with some balloons, and we've got a tea party right there. Here's a little nose. How about that? That's for Meghan. I know we're going to get roasted for roasting Meghan today. Oh, okay. So I think I've got a good dose of toppings. The last thing I'm going to put on. Oh wait, the secret ingredient is in the oregano. If you take this on a plane, it could be confused. But here at our pizza station, we're going to just add a little bit. And you know what? I actually really love that we're doing it. For me, the more spice, the better. And I just think oregano's great. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is top it with some Parmesan cheese. This is going to give us a very crispy layer. Now, note, I've never had this. You and I are going to have it together. And I'm going against a tried and tested Whitney recipe that she doesn't even use a recipe for because she remembers it so well. Just know that you're in this with me together. But I am going to try Whitley's to see what it tastes like because it is very curious. I don't know that I could go carnivore full on, but it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. All right, well, we're going to go with God. And we're going to see what happens here. But join us. We're 10 minutes away from taking Whitley's out. So we're about to take out a pizza and then see what happens. We'll see you soon. And we are back. So Whitley, what do we have in front of us right now?
What we have is our crust, which has been baked for...
It looks like a chicken fried steak situation.
Right. 375 for 30 minutes. It's nice and hot. And then we're going to take...
Well, before you do, wasn't there something you told me you forgot about?
I did, and I almost forgot it.
Okay.
That was the one ingredient I left out when we were doing this was salt.
So when you're doing the mixture, you recommend doing a little salt in there as well.
I recommend the salt there, but this is okay. Salt's now because it's going on top. So our chicken is being salted.
Right.
So yeah.
That's great. Okay, so now what are you going to do?
Now I'm going to take cream cheese.
Okay, cream cheese.
And we're going to smear it all over this.
Now, is this a special cream cheese?
Well, you always say that these things are special.
Go ahead and tell us all.
But it's basically just an organic cream cheese.
I knew it.
And one of the things I like to do is put this on. This is room temperature. And that's really kind of important is that your ingredients be at room temperature.
Got it.
But I will blob it on like this simply because...
It's going to be like mozzarella? Just kind of spreading out and...
Yeah, because it's...
getting gooey?
Yeah, it's getting softer, so we can spread it easier because it's really hard to spread.
Yeah.
And I might need a knife or a fork.
And we're back. So you now have your knife.
Right. So it's not coming off very well, so I'm having to use
a little knife.
A little knife.
Yeah.
But I'm going to turn this so it's warm. But doing this, you want to do this right after it comes out of the oven
Great.
because of the fact that you want your
Cream cheese to melt. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Spreadable.
Well, it's getting there for sure.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
So
Will it spread out on its own anyway, or no?
no, you're going to have to spread it out.
Okay.
It's not going to. It's not going to spread. Now, as it gets hotter and melts, as you can see.
A few hours later. So tell me what we have going on here.
Well, our cream cheese is melted, and we're just spreading it out and making sure that it is. We've got it covered. Now, I love cheese. The sad part is a lot of people who do carnivore say avoid the dairy. So, but it's really hard to avoid the dairy when you absolutely love cheese.
I agree. Okay, so what's going on next?
What's going on next? The rest of it shouldn't take very long. This is Parmesan.
So you're kind of doing a 3-cheese pizza, if you will.
In ways, yeah.
Because you got your cream cheese, the Parmesan, and then your other cheese.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Parmesan. And then this is the topping, whatever toppings you want to use. One of the things that I like to use is leftover meat.
Okay.
Now, a lot of my family like pepperoni. I'm not a big pepperoni fan. So I will do pepperoni and bacon and other meats like this. But this is some leftover roast. And that's kind of my favorite is leftover roast.
Okay.
So we're just going to put this on here.
It looks good.
Sometimes we'll use something like jerky or anything meat-wise.
Can you use herbs in carnivore?
It depends. When you're first starting off on carnivore, most doctors will recommend that you don't until you find out what bothers you. It's kind of like an elimination diet when you start off. So you want to find out what bothers you and what doesn't bother you. So
can you tell me about the cheese you're currently putting on this one?
This actually is raw jack.
Okay.
It's very similar to mozzarella. It's harder. I try to get raw cheese, and it is hard to get raw mozzarella.
So how much do you think you are putting on there?
This is half a block, so this would be 4 ounces.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you. I'll let you.
Hey, I'm not arguing this part. All right, so then what happens after we get all the cheese on it? Are we going back in the oven?
We're going to go back in the oven. We're going to do a little bit more Parmesan on top. And we're going to go back in the oven.
For how long?
For just 10 or 15 minutes, however long it takes for the cheese to melt, which means that the meat should be warmed. The meat's already cooked.
Right.
This part, all it needs to do is warm up and heat.
All right, we'll see you back soon. And we are back. So I've baked mine. And as you can see, these are the fruit of my labor. We have our Big Daddy cups and our little muffin cups. And I'm actually going to take one out. These have been sitting out for like 5 minutes. They have cooked for 18 to 20. And they look edible. So I'm really glad. We're going to pause 1 second so I can get a fork and cut this open. And where my forks are, I can't get there without you. So we're going to pause real quick and we're going to take a bite and I'll tell you how it is. All right, we're back again. Now I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like in the middle. Look at that. Now this is called a pizza pot pie, which I find just enthralling. And you'll note that this isn't all biscuit, which I kind of like. The biscuit kind of formed around everything. So I'm just going to take a bite and see what we think of this biscuit situation. I feel like I can hold this part. Okay. Okay. First of all, I'm hungry. I'm not eating all day. So this is like ambrosia to the lips. Through the hips, over the gums, something, watch out, stomach, here it comes. It's whatever. Anyway, the crust is great. It's not really doughy at all. The pizza sauce is pretty good. You know what you could do to elevate this though is I think make your own sauce. And actually, to elevate it anymore, I would even treat the dough with herbs and spices and stuff and cheese to kind of make it more of a breadstick type of a vibe. I wanted to try it as it was supposed to be to determine how I liked it as it was supposed to be. And then when I eat it, then I just decide what I could do to elevate it. So the bell pepper is not bad in this, actually. I think my aversion to bell peppers is I don't like them in the raw, like my colleague. And so I think I like that vegetable kind of cooked down. And in this, it's not offensive to me to eat because bell peppers can have a very strong, you're eating grass type vibe. And I'm not into that. But what would be better with this is a marinara to potentially dip it into, or a ranch sauce if you're into that. And playing around with some of the ingredients. I like the mushrooms, but I even think chicken and spinach with an Alfredo would be really good. Yeah, so play around with it. See what you think about it. I will put a link to where you can find this in our link area. And if you get to try it, let me know what you think in the comments. But before we end, we've got to see this chicken fiasco we call pizza. And I've got to take a bite. So we're going to flip the switch. And if you'll just hold on 1 second, we'll see Whitley and see what she's got for us. Hey, so Whitley, thank you for holding the heart spatula that you matched so incredibly well. So tell me about this situation we got going on here. This looks delicious. Is this how it's supposed to look?
This is exactly how it's supposed to look.
All right.
And I'm going to take a piece out, as you see it.
My gosh, it is. It is.
You can eat this with your fingers, just like normal pizza.
Okay.
And we're talking about sauces.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a daughter who does love to dip this in various sauces.
Okay.
And a true Alfredo sauce is generally carnivore and gluten-free.
Oh, perfect.
And Parmesan and cream.
Right.
And butter.
Right.
And those are the only 3 ingredients. And
Perfect.
that is one of the things that she does love.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can tell, you can put this up with your fingers.
Okay.
In fact, it's one of the foods my daughter likes to carry with her to work, because even though this doesn't look very big, this is like eating a cheeseburger.
Okay. I feel like, to be fair, could you cut me off a small piece?
Oh, of course.
And I will eat it.
Well,
Just
here,
use my knife.
How big? How big?
Very, very small. Very, very small.
Well, I think you need to make sure you get
How
lots
about
of
like
things.
this edge, just a tiny rectangle, and we'll see if carnivore's even in my nature.
How's that?
That'll work.
That'll work. That's a nice spot.
I'm going. Oh, here I am. Wow, my face. Okay, so I'm going to turn around. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Really hold that for me.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. All
You
right.
know,
Wait.
It takes a village. It takes a village.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to try her diet food. And let me tell you. Well, let me tell you.
Yes, it is a
It
diet.
is. I've never had a chicken sandwich pizza, but we're going to do it. And I'm going to tell you honestly what I think. And if I don't like it, I apologize.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know.
But I feel like we have to be honest, because
We
what's
do.
the point? You know?
Exactly.
All right, so let me get it. Okay, so we have got roast, 3 cheeses, and a chicken-based crust with salt, egg, and
The panka.
panka. Okay, pork rind.
Pork rind panka.
Okay. I taste organic. Right. I mean, like,
That is not a compliment coming from Jessica.
it is. Actually, it's really good. It's really good.
But you have to look at it like.
I mean, well, anytime I'm trying something that you have, it scares me because I believe in all things good, but I think you could exist on this. I mean, would it be my ambrosia in my heart? No, but if I had to suffer,
Yes.
this I could suffer with and not feel like I suffered. It really is kind of like a thin chicken nugget. I know it is. I understand the dipping, but the cheese on top is killer. I mean, if we're going with Guy Fieri, it's fire. So I give this 2 thumbs up from you.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting it.
I know. It sounds weird, doesn't it? Absolutely sounds
Well,
weird.
I'm going to finish the whole thing because that is, you worked hard. You smashed big. But no, I want to say I think both of them were very successful, but this was truly a surprise.
Uh-huh.
And we'll put the link to her. Sorry, I'm just thinking about the chicken. We'll put a link to her recipes in our links, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And hey, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, here we go. See, this is what happens when I mess up. Thank you for joining us on The Happenings, where we talk about things that happen, whether we like them
Or not.
And today it's not one of those. So anyway, we'll talk at you later. Bye.